Welcome to the Mary Potter Podcast. Are you ready for another weekly magical probe? You know how we do it here, diving into the fascinating world of wizarding flash fiction. And this time, we've got not one, but two wildly imaginative tales to explore.
Two completely different magical adventures await us, yeah. I'm really curious to see which one grabs you more.
Me too. First up is Evocation's Echo. Just picture it, having the power to touch any object and instantly relive the memories attached to it, kind of like a magical time machine in your
I
fingertips.
like that magical time
And
machine.
in this story, we meet Cassie. She's a teenager who stumbles upon this incredible gift while rummaging through the forgotten treasures in her grandma's attic. That classic image of a dusty attic filled with who knows what. It really sets the stage for some intriguing discoveries, doesn't it? What do you think makes that attic setting so captivating, especially when you've got a curious teenager involved?
I think it's that sense of hidden history, right? All those personal narratives just waiting to be rediscovered. It's like the attic becomes this kind of in-between space, holding on to pieces of the past that nobody really thinks about anymore.
Yeah.
And then you've got Cassie, who's just on the verge of her own future, colliding with these echoes of the past. It creates this tension between what was and what could be. And her power, well, it's not just about finding a diary or an old photo. It's a direct physical connection with the emotions embedded in these objects.
It's like those objects become conduits, carrying the weight of all those past experiences. And that first memory she experiences with the locket, it's not a faded photograph or a written account. Cassie's plunged right into the heart of a vibrant ballroom scene. It's described so vividly. A girl in a blue dress, a single tear rolling down her cheek. Does that kind of sensory detail change how you experience the story? I know it does for me.
Absolutely. As a listener, it allows you to bypass that sort of intellectual understanding of history. You're not just being told about the past, you're feeling it alongside Cassie. Suddenly, the abstract concept of memories attached to objects becomes incredibly real and intensely personal. You're not just told the locket has a history, you're given a window into a significant emotional moment.
Right. And it's not a passive thing for Cassie. She doesn't just happen upon these memories. She's actively drawn to them, drawn to these forgotten relics, the worn out, the tarnished, the things most people would overlook. The story describes her as a keeper of lonely echoes. What does that tell you about what might be driving her?
Well, I think it speaks to a deeper human desire, don't you? A need to connect with those who came before us, to understand where we come from, and maybe, just maybe, to offer a voice to those who are no longer here to tell their own tales. It's that timeless human instinct to piece together the puzzle of the past.
It's like she becomes a guardian of those forgotten moments. But then the story takes a sharp turn with the antique mirror. Instead of a dazzling ballroom scene, Cassie's met with this unsettling coldness, and there's this shadowy figure lurking in the reflection. It's not just observing a memory anymore. It feels like something darker, more persistent is clinging to that mirror. What do you think changes in the story when this element is introduced?
It definitely injects a sense of danger, right? And it raises some serious questions about the nature of these evoked memories. Are they simply echoes, recordings of past events, or could they hold on to some form of energy, some kind of lingering presence? It certainly pushes the story beyond a simple exploration of history and into the realm of the unknown, even the potentially dangerous.
It becomes less about satisfying curiosity and more about facing the unknown head on. And it's Cassie's curiosity, her detective-like approach to using her powers, that really drives the narrative forward. She doesn't just accept the local ghost stories. She uses the memories embedded in objects, a broken pocket watch, a faded diary, even a crumpled handkerchief to uncover the truth. It's like she's deciphering a secret language written in the traces of the past.
It's a fascinating twist on traditional detective work. Instead of physical clues or witness testimonies, she's following the trail of emotions left behind on these everyday items. It reinforces the idea that history isn't just confined to textbooks or museums. Sometimes the most powerful stories are woven into the very fabric of the objects around us. And in this case, those objects hold the key to a chilling secret.
And the stakes get even higher when Cassie realizes it's not just a random haunting. This is a century-old murder mystery, a tragedy frozen in time. Suddenly, she's not just a passive observer, she's actively stirring up these echoes of a violent past, which could put her in real danger.
It raises those big ethical questions, doesn't it? When does curiosity cross the line into recklessness? When is it okay to dig into the past knowing that you might unearth something dangerous? Is ignorance sometimes bliss? Cassie's story really makes you think about the burden of responsibility that comes with a power like hers.
It does. But even with that danger looming, Cassie feels this undeniable connection to the weeping girl in the locket, who, as it turns out, is the sister of the murder victim. And this is where the story takes an interesting turn. It's not a typical magical showdown. The resolution comes from an act of empathy, a bridging of two souls separated by time. It suggests a very different understanding of magic.
It emphasizes a more emotional, more humanistic side of magic.
Yeah.
It's not about spells and incantations, but about understanding, about compassion, about connecting with the pain of the past. Cassie's empathy becomes the real magical force, offering solace and allowing the spirits trapped in this cycle of grief and vengeance to finally find peace.
That image of the ballroom transforming, the girl in blue finding peace, and the vengeful spirit dissolving not through anger, but through the release of sorrow. It's such a powerful ending. It leaves you with a sense of hope, even though the townsfolk might never fully understand what Cassie did.
Exactly. Cassie's story really underscores the idea that true power doesn't always come in those flashy, obvious ways. It's often found in the quiet moments, the acts of empathy and compassion. It's a reminder that even the smallest actions can have profound ripple effects, and that each of us has the potential to create change, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles.
Well said. So from this intimate exploration of the past, we shift gears entirely with our second flash fiction story, Arcane High. This one takes us to a high school, but not just any high school, a school specifically for the magically gifted, the twist. Our main character, Theo, is the only student there who seems to completely lack magical ability. What do you make of that contrast, Cassie alone with her connection to the past, and Theo surrounded by magic but seemingly unable to access it?
It's such a fascinating juxtaposition. The contrast between their experiences is so striking. We go from a solitary individual unearthing hidden histories to a character who is constantly surrounded by magic but unable to participate. Cassie's power isolates her in some ways, while Theo's lack of magic makes him an outsider in a community that defines itself by magical ability.
Right. And you can almost feel Theo's frustration, can't you? Being the only mundane kid in a school full of witches and wizards, the sideways glances, maybe even the occasional sigh of pity. It's that classic outsider narrative, but in a fantastical setting. What kind of challenges do you think someone like Theo might face at a place like Arcane High?
I imagine he probably wrestles with a lot of insecurity, maybe even some resentment. In a place where magical talent is likely prized above all else, his inability to perform spells would make him feel like he doesn't belong. It's got to be tough on his self-esteem, especially surrounded by all these powerful, talented peers. He's constantly reminded of what he lacks. It's a real underdog story waiting to unfold.
It is, and then things start to get really interesting. These tremors begin to shake the very foundations of the academy. Not just a little rumble, but these intense vibrations that are literally cracking the enchanted blackboards and making the stone gargoyles twitch like they're coming to life. It's clearly not just a normal Tuesday at Arcane High.
It's like the ground itself is rebelling, isn't it?
Mhm.
And that sense of a growing threat does something interesting to the social dynamics at the school. Suddenly, it doesn't matter who's the most talented spellcaster. Everyone's facing this common threat. And it creates a unique opportunity for characters like Theo. They might not have the flashiest magic, but their other skills, their perspectives, might become essential for survival.
It levels the playing field in a way.
Hmm.
And while his magically gifting classmates are busy practicing their defensive spells and trying to figure out what kind of magical attack is happening, Theo turns to something else, the historical records of the academy. What do you think it is about Theo's lack of magic that pushes him towards a more research-based approach?
I think it highlights a really important point about how people respond to challenges. When you lack certain tools or abilities, you naturally lean on your strengths, right? Theo might not have the magical firepower of his peers, but it's got a sharp mind, a love of history, and a keen eye for detail. These are skills that might be overlooked in a magic-centric environment, but they become crucial in this situation. It's a reminder that there are many different ways to solve a problem, even a magical one.
It's like he has to think outside the box because the traditional tools aren't available to him. And his research leads him to a pretty crucial discovery. The academy wasn't just built on some random piece of land. It was built on a thin spot, a place where the veil between worlds is incredibly thin. Suddenly, those tremors aren't just a rogue spell or a magical attack. Something ancient is trying to break through from the other side. That's a real game changer, isn't it?
It totally flips the script, right? Now, it's not just about defending against some external magical force. It's about understanding the inherent instability of the location itself. This kind of threat demands a different approach. You can't just throw spells at it. You have to understand the root of the problem, the history, the delicate balance that's been disrupted.
And this is where Theo's approach really stands out. While everyone else is focused on mastering their magical defenses, he's literally getting his hands dirty, out in the schoolyard, examining the earth, feeling the energy of the place. It's such a great visual, isn't it? This seemingly ordinary kid, surrounded by these supernaturally talented individuals, and he's the one connecting with the very foundation of the school.
It's a powerful image. Theo grounding himself in the natural world, drawing on a different kind of knowledge. I think it suggests that the answers to magical problems aren't always found in more magic. Sometimes it's about understanding the mundane, the natural forces at play. It's about remembering that magic is often intertwined with the world around us.
And what's really fascinating is that it's a seemingly failed water drawing spell that gives Theo his big aha moment. The way the magic interacts with the earth reveals the truth. It's all about balance. Centuries of channeling magic in that one spot have overloaded the ground, like it's reached its saturation point. What do you think is so insightful about Theo making this connection?
He's not just looking at the surface level magic. He's thinking about the underlying energy flow. It's like he's seeing the circulatory system of the school, the way magic is both created and absorbed by the earth. And he realizes that the problem isn't a magical attack, but a disruption of a natural cycle. That perspective is what makes him so valuable in this situation.
And the solution isn't some complex counter curse or a duel with a powerful entity. It's almost deceptively simple. It's about channeling their collective magic back into the earth, rebalancing the energy flow. It's like opening a pressure valve, allowing the excess magic to dissipate safely.
It's such an elegant solution, and it speaks volumes about the limitations of relying solely on traditional methods. Everyone was so focused on combating the threat with more magic that they completely overlooked this more fundamental approach. Theo, on the other hand, saw the problem with fresh eyes and was able to offer a solution that no one else could see. It really drives home the importance of diverse perspectives and a willingness to challenge conventional thinking.
It's a great example of how sometimes the most brilliant solutions are the simplest. And the way the headmaster reacts, he goes from looking at Theo with pity to regarding him with genuine respect. Suddenly, this mundane student becomes the hero of Arcane High. It's a beautiful subversion of those classic hero tropes, isn't it?
It really is. Theo's story is a powerful reminder that true strength and heroism can manifest in unexpected ways. What others saw as a weakness, his lack of magical ability, actually became his greatest asset. It allowed him to see the problem from a different angle, to connect with the earth in a way that no one else could. It's a wonderful testament to the idea that everyone has something unique to offer, and that true power comes from embracing our individual strengths.
So thinking about Cassie's power, this ability to connect with the past through touch, do you find that idea comforting or unsettling? The potential to literally hold history in your hands, to experience the joys and sorrows of those who came before you. What kind of unknown stories do you think might be hidden in the objects around you right now?
It's a fascinating question to consider, isn't it? On the one hand, the idea of being able to touch the past, to experience those echoes of human experience firsthand, is incredibly alluring. It offers a tangible link to those who came before us, a way to connect with history on a deeply personal level. But then there's the flip side. What if those echoes are filled with pain or trauma? What if the objects we encounter every day hold the remnants of events we'd rather not relive? It makes you wonder what kind of unseen layers of history surround us, silently embedded in the walls of our homes, the streets we walk on, the very objects we touch every day.
It's a fascinating and maybe slightly eerie thought. And in the world of Arcane High, Theo's story shows us that sometimes the most innovative solutions, the most powerful forms of strength, come from unexpected places. It challenges our assumptions about what constitutes power or magic, even in our own non-magical world. Does Theo's journey make you think about those qualities in a new light?
Absolutely. Theo's story encourages us to expand our definition of power, to look beyond traditional metrics of strength and skill. His intelligence, his observational abilities, his willingness to challenge conventional thinking, those are all forms of power that ultimately saved Arcane High. It's a reminder that true value lies in recognizing and embracing the diverse strengths that each individual brings to the table.
Both of these flash fiction stories, Evocation's Echo and Arcane High, offer such unique explorations of magic and heroism within the wizarding world. One delves into a deeply personal connection with the past, the other into finding strength in a community defined by a specific ability.
And they do it in such distinct ways.
Right.
One emphasizes individual exploration and empathy, the other teamwork and the importance of unconventional thinking. It's a great reminder that even within a single genre, there's endless room for creative exploration.
We hope this magical probe into these two captivating tales has sparked your imagination and left you with some things to ponder. Which story resonated with you more? And what other kinds of magical abilities or challenges would you be interested in seeing explored in future flash fiction stories?
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities. The world of wizarding flash fiction is so rich and diverse. There's always something new to discover, new ways to imagine the impossible.
Well said. Don't forget to rate and follow the Mary Potter podcast for more enchanting explorations into the world of wizarding flash fiction. Until next time, keep those wands charged and those imaginations firing.